All right, everybody, we're back with another investor deck, and I gotta do two big shout outs. One to Caleb. I am drinking water for this investor deck this time, and Oliver for hooking me up with this. I really appreciate it. That's amazing of you. And it sounds like maybe we'll be able to get our hands on the field trip investor deck in the coming week. So we'll stay tuned on that. But jumping in real quick here, Wuhan General Corp at the forefront of medical cannabis and mushrooms. We're not going to focus on medical cannabis. It has had its shine, and I will only touch back on it if the Dems win the election and we have more of a clear understanding of legalization in the US. So, quickly through the agenda, background and opportunity, about Wuhan and its portfolio, key strategic partners and management team, forecasted financials, and the company's timeline. We're going to bypass the disclaimer. Um, they're generally the same, it's just the legalities. And we're not going to delve into cannabis because, as we can see, it is growing and it will grow, and eventually the black market will be snuffed out due to their inability to make high quality resins and things like that. CBD as well, we will bypass. About Wuhan and portfolio. Our vision, mission, and core values. Before I read this panel, I just want to state that this writing is very hard to read. It's about as clear as I could get it, even with Photoshop. So let's just try our best. Our vision is to improve people's quality of life by unleashing the full potential of medicinal cannabis and mushrooms. Our mission is to be a global leader in medicinal cannabis and mushrooms from seed to sprout. We are driven by a passion for medicine and science, and our core values: quality, science, traceability, humility, accountability, and excellence. And the key takeaway there in their core values is traceability, knowing where each subject comes from seed to sprout. That is, to me, the most important. I personally am not an investor in this. This is for you guys, but that would be something that would tick high in my box as an investor going over this deck. Our pillars are cannabis from seed to shelf, mushroom from spore to store, very catchy, and science and data and everything in between. Scientific research at its core of our business, we are focusing on the science and research behind medicinal cannabis and medicinal mushrooms for drug discovery, preclinical trials, clinical trials, and commercialization. Pardon me. So the company structured through its wholly owned subsidiaries, Wuhan Researchers develops and commercializes a wide range of CBD and psilocybin based products. The key word there for me is psilocybin, which means they actually have their hands on the psychoactive ingredient that would be considered a psychedelic for production in bio or neuropharmaceuticals, or even strictly just microdosing the natural plant itself. I am much more comfortable doing this in a firmly structured company than some of the little ones you see popping up, like downtown Vancouver, where they grow in house. But General Wuhan Corp is the subsidiary of M2 Bio, MJ MEDTECH, and BioDelta LC. Now, these Medspresso and Dr. Anna RX, I have not done any research on them, but from what it sounds like, they are two brands. But I will take a look at the website and post about that. MJ MedTech Division, BioDelta Neurotech Chemicals has been contracted to support the company's wholly owned subsidiary, MJ MedTech, to develop brand, market, and commercialization of internationally trademarked Dr. Anna RX and Medipresso product lines. Yes, there you go. Excellent. So I'm semi correct. Dr. Anna RX, I'm going to butcher these words, so bear with me, people. The brand Dr. Anorex is a high quality health product and commercialized brand which develops products containing CBD, basically. Medspresso, the CBD infused coffee, is the world's foremost tannin peaberry, which is grown in the region of Wuhan. Yeah, that's really hard to read. MJ MEDTECH. CBD fused in products. We get the gist of this. It is very good for you, but I don't think anyone's too interested right now. Um, this is a bit off topic from the psilocybin or mushrooms for Wuhan, but the Medspresso with its caffeine, on a side note, is actually very good for your skin. And the only reason I know this is because my sister is the manager of a, what's it called, when you, like a medical clinic, but it's for beauty. You know. M2 Bio Division. M2 Bio is researching and developing additional indications for psilocybin new therapies through preclinical and clinical trials that will help patients who suffer from mental illness, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. And this is a big step up because the other companies like Compass and, you know, Johns Hopkins, they're only studying psilocybin for de- like resistant depression and not Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or any other brain disorders. So that gives them, in my opinion, a one up, uh, even though they are much smaller compared to like MindMed or Compass Pathways. Not that MindMed has any competition in psilocybin, to be honest. The data suggests that the potential therapeutic benefits of psilocybin assisted therapy are real and of potential medical and public health significance, which I think is something that we all already know because people have been doing this now for a couple of years and it has worked. I think the only hurdle is getting it legalized, and getting it uh, processed into a pharmaceutical drug or for uh, clinics, you know. So it's there. We just have to cross the red tape. Key strategic partnerships. I can't read shit of this one, but I'm gonna wing it. WGG, aka Wuhan General Corp, is a natural pharmaceutical biotechnology corp. That's about as far as I'm going to jump into that one. BioDelta is a nutraceutical Ltd in ISO. ISO, it's for let's considered a research unit for accredited contract developments, manufacturing, and packaging solutions provider to the health and food industry. And ARC LNR, the Agricultural Research Council, that's good enough for me. Organizational chart, CEO Jeffrey Robinson, Senior VP Leon Geese. I'm going to butcher these names. I apologize if any of you are watching. CMO Dr. Anna Morera, CFO Rami Kamanch, Vice President Joey Brower, Pharmaceutical Director Neil Marie Stewart, and Head of Product Luka Marjovic. Success formula: relationships, location, supply chain, and opportunities. Now, specifically the supply chain, strong supply chain and distribution channels sought throughout South Africa with access to more than 4,000 points of sales. That's good to know because they so far have been the only one that is actually looking to market out in that direction or that portion of the world, as majority of the other studies and sales have been pitched to either the United States or the UK. So you got to give them that one. Opportunities: cannabis, and psilocybin already significant medical and health benefits as well as great commercial upside. Relationships: unique and exclusive partnerships are paving the way for knowledge and new care development. Location: key strategic locations in Cape Town, South Africa, alongside or along with iOS 22,000 certified full service in house production. And the forecasted financials for the business: number one, proto and design, in house production, formulation, and treating. Number two, manufacturing, adhering to the highest quality of standards. The supply chain at number three, agile supply chain management and warehousing. And four, delivery, distributing products to retail and pharmacies. And I'm really liking that they're aiming for a pharmaceutical take. 4 weeks from idea to shelf with an effective transformation of raw materials to finished products. BioDelta is able to execute a go-to strategy. I'm doing pretty good for not being able to really see this gray writing. Props, I guess. Projected sales. So we're not entirely sure how this will play out, but if everything is successful with we'd be just entering Q2 with the end of March here, being 8 million by Q4 2021, 93 million. That is a very big jump in sales. And to be honest, 4 years is not a lot. It's nothing. If you set it and forget it and you are a purchaser of this stock, don't think about it. Time flies, man. Strategic expansion. Man, I'm mumbling a lot in this video. At least you have something to laugh at. South African launch. September 2019, the initial launch in South Africa, steadily scaling up to 4,000 stores. African launch, expanding to surrounding countries and up into the rest of Africa. And that is for Q2 2020. Planning to enter European market by Q2 2020 and US and Canada by Q3 2021. Profit and growth. Projected profits net of interest and taxes from 2019 to the end of this year in 2021, 0.8 million in 2019 in the launch of South Africa, and currently 12.7 million in 2020, scaling distribution through South Africa and Africa while entering the European market, and by 2021, 65.9 million full market penetration in Africa, steadily scaling into Europe with an entry into North America and its markets. And the company timeline looks to read from June 2017, the big idea when this was in its seed round and infancy, medical marijuana business opportunity, followed by April 2018 when the company incorporated into MEDTECH Inc. and it's established a packaging and branding prototype. By November 2018, the merger discussions between MJ MEDTECH and Wuhan commenced. January 2019, BioDelta JV negotiation with the joint venture to bring Delta and Wuhan together. Corporate visit. Wuhan team visits BioDelta in South Africa in April of 2019, and by May of 2019, BioDelta JV completes its merger with Wuhan. 49% of cannabis-related assets, first 7 products under Dr. Anna RX product line chosen. By June, product samples, first sample of Dr. Anna RX and Medspresso ready for testing. August, private placement early funding round with a target of 1.75 million, which they did breach. I believe it's actually a little higher. They did a private round as well. September 2019 was the product launch of the initial product, released in 300 pharmaceuticals across South Africa. We have been terribly and systematically misled for nearly 70 years in regards to cannabis, psilocybin, and mushrooms as well. I am convinced that it is irresponsible to not provide the best care we can, care that often involves marijuana. I am not backing down on medical marijuana. I am doubling down. And a big thank you to Wuhan General Corp and BioDelta Nutraceuticals. And as you can see, it looks to be South Africa and what is not the UK, but just below the UK. I should know, I've been there. Connect with us. Don't forget to stay in touch and share your experiences and ideas. The one thing that is quite surprising is that Wuhan General did start following me on Twitter. So I do have access to their DMs. If you want me to ask them any questions and take screenshots or anything, please post the questions that you want asked. I will ask them and post them for all of you to see. And um, I hope you enjoyed the deck. I'm sorry it was so blurry. I did the best I could. It was a bit of a mushmouth push through, but we got through it. I hope you guys are having a great day. And as always, my DMs are open. Big shout out to Oliver. Love you, man. That was awesome for sending me this. And Caleb, I drank water through this. Have a good one, boys. Peace.